Hello everyone, Bill Parish and Dick Diamond from GTT Audio, and welcome to the channel today. Or more specifically, welcome inside the showrooms.
Yeah.
Dick and I thought it would be great to do an updated factory tour. A little different than what we've done before, a little different than the way that Peter from AV Showrooms used to do it, but maybe a little closer to what he's done than what I've done with the walkthroughs. And here we are, so 6 rooms here. Dick, we're going to show off 4 rooms.
Perfect.
Yeah. And one thing we want to get out there right now is there seems, I don't know if there's confusion, but maybe some misunderstandings or confusions about what a dealer is, what a distributor is, who is what, and so on and so forth. Where a distributor is there's only one in every country. Sometimes a distributor makes up multiple countries. And the distributor is also the importer of that specific country. And except for like degenerate products, Apple TV X, Switch X, Wi-Fi X. This is where we are the world's worldwide distributor. So we are the exporter of degenerate. And then so we're a distributor and an importer that goes hand in hand. And then what we also do is we retail in the Northeast and some other territories that are open. But we do have a dealer network. What do we have? 23, 25 dealers at this point?
Yeah, approximately.
And with that dealer network, now not every dealer distributes
all of the brands
or retails all of the brands. We have Vivid Audio dealers, Moa audio dealers, Switch X, TV X, Degenerate dealers. We've got AudioNet dealers, TLA dealers, Kronos dealers.
Yeah.
What am I forgetting?
And the newest in our portfolio of lines, Master Fidelity.
Of course. Master Fidelity dealers, which we've just opened up 2 of them.
Yes.
And we're, and I would think that Moa is our with dealers, our largest
per unit brand.
Yeah, per unit brand. I mean, I think we have 19 or 20 Moa dealers. So there's a lot of territories that are taken up with Moa. So that's what a distributor does, and then we all know what a retailer does. I mean, God, let's hope so. But when you see our name on a web page, we are not the only one in the country selling it, but everything does flow through our hands. Everything comes through Long Valley, and then is distributed out. And in most cases, we're North America, and a couple of cases we're U.S. only. But give us a call and we'll straighten you out.
Yeah.
So as a distributor, so retailers usually pick a few brands and they're required to take show a system of Moa, show a few models of Vivid, show a system of AudioNet, and buy into at least a perpetual level of Kronos. I mean, there's not everyone can be a dealer, and there's restrictions and so on and so forth. But what we are is, as the distributor, we're the boutique. We are the U.S. North American boutique of these brands, and when we take on to distribute a brand, we carry each and every product that they manufacture. So everything that Moa makes, you're going to find on our floor.
Yep.
Everything that Kronos makes, you're going to find on our floor. Everything that AudioNet makes, TLA, Master Fidelity, Degenerate, Vivid Audio. I mean, the list is getting long, and no one's ever left off intentionally. But you get the idea. And so we are in what we call demo room 4. We're going to go 4, 3, 2, 1. And this is demo room 4. We do the Vivid Audio Kaya line down here, Dick.
Yeah.
Why don't you take everybody through the models?
You bet. This little piece of magic that's sitting in front of me, just a slice of audio heaven, is the Kaya S12. And let me mention that the numbers that come after the letter indicate the amount of internal volume in the speaker.
In liters.
In liters, right. And as the numbers get bigger, so does the exterior and particularly the interior of the speaker. So here we have the wonderful little Kaya S12 and its matching stand. The speaker is bolted to it. The next speaker...
Let me just, since you brought out the stand, let me just say that we also have wall mounts. That they actually bolt to the wall mount. They sit on the base of the wall mount, and it's a serious piece of hardware there. But yeah, so there's more than one way to officially attach it to a recommended platform.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, to your left, viewers, we've got the Kaya, or what we call the K25. That's a two-way speaker. It has a very unique shape as it represents the exponential taper tube absorption technology that Lawrence Sticky has developed. Next to that, you've got the K45, or Kaya 45, which is now a three-way speaker that has a woofer on either side toward the lower portion of the enclosure. And in front of Bill, to Bill's right, or Bill's left, your right, that's the K90, having a 90-liter internal volume. It has 4 woofers, 2 woofers on each side, also a three-way speaker.
Yeah, pretty. These are all fun speakers.
Oh my gosh.
They certainly are. I mean, everyone is a masterful performer. I mean, this little S12. I think you lived with one for a few months.
Yes,
before
yes,
you,
and I absolutely.
And then he
adore it
upgraded.
still.
Then we'll talk about his upgrade a little in the next room, in demo room 3. But that made you fall back in love with music or with audio.
And that's no joke. It truly did. As I started with this and continued on with the speaker, which we'll show you shortly, I've listened to more audio in the last year and a half to 2 years than I've listened to in my own home the last 15 to 20 years. That's the level of excitement that was generated for me with the Vivid Audio line, and partnered with Mola Electronics as well.
Right, and so we have also, we have some Mola Electronics, not all the Mola Electronics in here, some are in other rooms, but we have the fully loaded Makua, which is fully loaded by what we mean by that, Makua, and next to it actually Kua as well, can be what we call basic, the basic model, or base model is really the way to say it, and then you could have it with a phono stage, which is the phono stage is the Lupe.
Lupe, sorry.
Yeah, or with a DAC, which now is
the Tambaki.
The Tambaki. And are fully loaded, so that would be internally built, the Lupe and the Tambaki in there. So, and when we're demoing stuff, when we buy our demo equipment, we want to be able to show you, those that want to come in and demonstrate, we want to show you everything. So we can shut the Tambaki and the Lupe off internally, that's no problem. And but if you want to hear it with the Lupe, you want to hear it with the Tambaki, it's built in. So ours are fully loaded, and that is a Makua, this is a Kula, this is a Tambaki, and down here we have a pair of Percus. And then behind this we have a Orlik Aries G1.1, we have a Vega G1, G1.1, forget the actual nomenclature, but Dick, this is not, I mean, everything that's here is not what's just in this room.
Right.
You know, and that's one thing, even though we're going to do the walkthrough, you're never going to be able to capture everything on a camera and in a video that you can absorb with your eyes when you come in. This is one thing we always say about Vivid. Vivid is not a 2D product. It's not something that you can grasp in 2D, what you're getting here or in a photo. You really need to see it in 3D, and then it's completely different. Everyone agrees that comes in, whether it be the Moya or the S12 or the Gia series. People that hate it on paper, love it in life, and yeah, it's a lot different. So, another thing that we have in here, still being a big YG guy, and our YGs, we have tours that we demo in this room as well, and I've just popped a photo up there of the tours, and these things are, they're really special as well. So this is what we do in this room.
Yeah. We just happen to have a pair of K45s hooked up for the last customer that came by, so
that's right.
That's why they're hooked up at the present time.
In fact, tomorrow after this video, these are the ones that are getting hooked up because we've got Larry coming in tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So and he's coming in for these. So that is it's what you're usually seeing is what's been hooked up, what's been scheduled for demo. We love everything that we carry, so we're happy to leave it in the place until it's the next time for a demonstration, and then we'll swap it out if someone's demonstrating something else and introduce a new product for a few weeks.
Bill, over the years, you've sold a lot of product out of this particular room.
Oh yeah, this is sort of where it kind of started.
Yeah, this is the genesis of GTT audio and video right here.
Yeah. All right, let's take them over to demo room 3.
Sounds great.
And here we are in demo room 3. Dick, what do we have in front of us?
Well, we have the Gia series of speakers from Vivid Audio. The last demo we have these G2 Series 2 speakers, which are just fantastic sounding. Next to...
Oh my gosh, they were just...
They're magical, weren't they?
Yeah.
My goodness.
By the way, so last year, G1 Spirits were a bestseller. This year, the G2.
G2 has been,
yeah, really great. What's this guy?
This is the G3 Series 2, of course, in a beautiful Belgravia, Range Rover Belgravia green.
Right.
These, by the way, you probably can't tell on screen, but these are Porsche Yachting Blue, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct. Yeah, they're gorgeous. We had a client in Dallas who did those. A client in Cincinnati saw the photo of the Dallas one. He ordered them. After the second install, I couldn't take it anymore, and we needed to get a pair in that color as well. Yeah, beautiful. And
here we have a speaker that I'm quite fond of. This is the G4 Series 2, and I've been the proud listener of a pair of these for quite some time, and I just absolutely love them. This pair is in a, what do you call this, Bill? Night blue?
Yeah, Porsche Night Blue.
Porsche Night Blue, and a deep blue color. We had these at the Capital Audio Fest in 2023.
Correct.
This year in 2024, we have the G3 S2 speakers on display.
Well, and with that, we had the TLA TSI 300S signature version.
Yeah.
Sounded pretty darn good.
I thought so. Yeah, so did everybody else.
And while we're at it, since we're talking about our show, you saw the introduction or the U.S. premiere of the Master Fidelity NADAC C and D, the 10 megahertz clock with the DAC. And wow.
Yeah.
Wow. We've talked enough on the channel about that.
Yes.
But that's always going to give 2 thumbs up, that's for sure. Well, and also we have the AudioNet Humboldt there in front of us. Many, many reviews. Always a bestseller here at GTT Audio. We've got the AudioNet pre-G2 line stage. The amount of those that have shipped out the door over
Oh,
the
my
years,
goodness.
right?
Yeah.
You saw me packing one this week.
In combination with the Max Mono
with
amplifiers.
the Max Mono amps. We got the AudioNet Watt.
Integrated amp.
Yeah. Got another Moa Makua. Over here we've got an AudioNet VIP CD player, EPX power supply, Pre-1G3 line stage, EPS, don't know if you can see all that, the EPS power supply, a DNP, which is it's a Swiss Army knife or German Army knife of audio. I mean, that is a preamplifier. It is a DAC. It's a 2.2, so it does. It'll do 2 subwoofers. You can EQ them. There's a digital EQ in there. You can run the highs, pure analog, and then and then EQ the lows if you wanted to. Yeah, it's really sweet. FM tuner, AM tuner, internet tuner. I don't know what they call that though. I've never even used it. But anyway, DNLA, DNP, can have a phono stage, anything and everything. This can be your single source. Then there is the Amp1 V2 stereo amplifier. Stereo amps aren't as popular as as the monoblocks. Yeah. We do have a pair of amps around here. They're on another pair of G2s at another demo room, but yeah, the amp monos. We've got the, things, we're not the distributor of Auralic, but we're big fans and dealers. So we've got the Auralic, the new S1 streamer with the power supply. Everybody knows we're huge fans of Kabbalah Sosna. We've got the expander there on the floor, all Kabbalah Sosna cabling throughout. Big fans of Grimm. We've got the MU1 and the MU2 right there on the shelves. Dick, why don't you take everyone on those shelves?
Well, here we have the Chrono Sparta turntable, which is their entry level is not the right word for a Sparta.
No.
One of the greatest turntables in the world with the counter-rotating platters that you're all familiar with. But this is the Chrono Sparta. It has the new Chronoscope RS arm affixed to it. Here's the controller unit for the Sparta.
Yeah, the supercapacitor power supply option.
Yeah, the SCPS, I believe. Here we have a Lupe phono stage and a Tambaki DAC. And below that we have a pair of Mola Kaluga mono amplifiers.
That's right, yep. And, like you said, the last thing that we did, what's hooked up today, they're all our favorites. What's hooked up today is what was the last thing that we played.
Right.
Yeah. We had 2 dealers in this week and spent several days listening, and one of them said goodbye with a pair of G2 S2s, yes. Dick, I think we take everyone up to the studio.
Let's do it. Absolutely.
I guess that would be demo room 2.
That's right.
Well, here we are in the studio.
That's right.
Which would be demo room number 2. As you see, it gets better and better as we get closer to 1. And up here is a world-class reference system with different electronics. I don't care what way you slice it. This is some pretty killer gear.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, absolutely, Dick. This is right in front of me. I've got the AudioNet Heisenbergs. I've got the TLA SSA 350s.
There you go.
Last thing that was set up was the Vivid Gia G1 Spirits. Just outside of that, we have the YG 3.2s.
Sonya 3.2.
The Sonya 3.2s. Yep. and very, very, very soon we're going to have the AudioNet Schrodinger's sitting up here as well. So that is going to be really exciting. I've been waiting on that. We showed prototypes at Munich, and the big joke in audio, Dick. What is it? When someone says it's going to be ready in August.
Yeah, it'll be ready, maybe August of next year. No, not that bad.
What year? What? Yeah.
What year?
August of what year?
What year, exactly.
What year?
Yeah.
Yes.
But we love them for it. Yeah.
Yes.
We love the products.
And there's some joke about Switzerland or something because, they make watches and time travels fast, except for in Switzerland. It's always 100 years behind.
Right.
No, it's... Yeah. Anyway, that's what this is. This room is phenomenal. It's like a real living space, and there's bookcases or record racks around. We do have glass windows. Do have a little bit of diffuser absorber stuffed in there, but pictures on the wall. We've got our friend Bob Dylan here, and again, all Kabbalah Sosna cables. As we go through the rooms, the level of KS goes up as well.
Yeah.
And so Dick, let's swing the camera around and let's show everyone the front end.
Yeah, perfect.
And here we are at the front end of the system in the studio. Dick, you are standing next to...
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're standing next to Wow. Guys, the previous episode, you saw Louie and I talking about and introducing the Perpetual. I've been playing it for weeks. Dick, you're in hearing it. I mean, you heard of that, Louie. You heard of that at Munich. But now you're hearing it in a controlled system that you know.
It's an absolute winner and continues to take a step up from, first of all, his fundamental and wonderful technology of the counter-rotating platters, but I've often called Louis the master of micro-resonance.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's nowhere more evident than in this table, certainly in the Discovery, but also applied to the brand new Perpetual table.
Oh yeah, and then he's taken his racks to a new level as well.
Yeah,
yeah,
certainly.
I mean, it's what he's doing there, and it's very underappreciated.
Yes, I appreciate it.
He builds a truss system under there with cross bracing, total isolation, multi-layer construction. Something that looks absolutely beautiful, completely customizable, adjustable, infinitely adjustable up and down. They're special. They're really, really special. Mm-hmm. But that turntable now with the Discovery RS arm. And by the way, I don't know if we've talked about this yet. I can't remember if we covered this on the last episode, but Kronos just received their U.S. patent on their RS tone arms.
Oh,
yeah. So Discovery RS and Chronoscope RS have been patented. Mm-hmm. They're clearly doing something different. Just like they received the patent on their turntable design, they're the only ones out there that can do it.
What they do in this arm, I saw from the inside of it myself when I was in Canada visiting. I've never seen anything like it. The technology that is imparted within this product is next level. It's just absolutely brilliant.
It is. It's comes from a brilliant mind. Here we have the AudioNet Stern preamplifier, the finest solid state
preamp ever.
Yeah. Right below it, have the 2 chassis. That is the Supreme Series preamplifier, SSP.
And that's the best tube preamp I've ever heard.
Exactly. We have the best solid state and the best tube. Yeah. This is a 2 chassis, all tube unit. And it's pretty special. All the way at the bottom, we have a Grimm MU1. Everything's plugged into a Switch X, of course, and that is doing going over to with the new Kabbalah Sosna Realization AES EBU cable deck.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah, Joe made that, and that was a game changer for AES EBU. That goes into the Tambaki.
Mm-hmm.
And next to that is Kronos's the Kronos Perpetuals, what I've dubbed the AC to DC converter.
Right.
You know, it's a power supply
Absolutely.
that literally converts
Just the converter.
AC to DC. Then the DC is set up to the supercap power supply, which Louie and I also call a DC accumulator.
Right. Right.
That's what it's doing.
It's
It's absorbing and accumulating all this DC and holding it, and then trickling it out as needed through an isolated bank into the motors.
It's a brilliant topology and brilliant methodology that he uses to charge those caps up, and wow,
Yep.
it's fantastic.
We have the AudioNet PAM G2 with an EPX. Dick, in your previous life, you were an Asian specialist.
Yeah.
You were over there in Asia all the time for your last two employers, and you told me that there's distributors all over Asia with that have nothing to do with AudioNet, but they're using that PAM pre-G2
On their turntables. It's I dubbed it the secret weapon. Yeah.
It is a secret
And it
weapon.
truly is. It's
I mean,
fantastic.
the sound of that thing, and well, we sell a ton of them. We'd sell a lot more if they were more expensive,
yeah. Sometimes. Yeah,
right?
That's
that's really the truth. That thing is too much of a value for some of these big analog guys to take serious. Yeah. We would say, there was a famous author that said once he would have wrote a better, or he would if he had more time, he would have wrote a shorter story.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I love that.
We would sell more of these if it was less money. Yeah, no doubt. But that thing is phenomenal. We have Joe from Joe Kabbalah. He rolls a special DC umbilical cable for us. I mean, that thing alone is almost the same step up as when you buy the additional power supply, the EPX, which tells you that it really is allowing you to hear that EPX with what comes with it, which is a pretty good cable. It's choking the sound compared to once you go through Kabbalah Sosna, DC cable. Dick, I think it's time for what I call the big room.
The big room, yeah.
That would be demo room number 1.
That's right.
Shall we head down there?
Yeah, hang on, folks. Grab the children.
And here we are in the big room. I mean, we call it a big room because, well,
It's big.
it's big. We're 21 and a half by 35, 12-foot ceilings. I mean, yeah, it's fairly good size.
Yeah,
fairly good
certainly.
size. Yeah. Dick, it seems like we've been in this position a lot this year talking.
We have, haven't we?
Well, we had the Moya event. A couple months ago.
Yeah.
We had the Moya launch, so not always with you, but I was here with Ewald as
Yeah.
well. These are the Moya M1s, and that's again what is demoed here is what was set up last,
Yes.
or requested to be demoed
Yes.
last. Well, in this room, this is not the only speaker. We also wheel in the YG Acoustics XV3s.
Yes.
I believe we're the only dealer in the United States to have a pair of XV3s.
I think that's
I
right.
could be wrong, but I believe I'm right on that. Definitely something that we've installed this last year, and and we will demo them.
Right.
Of course, this is not something that you show up here to and request a demo. This is something that you schedule weeks in advance.
It takes a little preparation.
Because it takes a little bit of time, as you can see by the photo in front of me. This is not something that you set up in an hour or in 2 minutes. This
Right.
is something that takes a day or more with a crew.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
right. And the same with these. So, AudioNet Heisenbergs. These have been a mainstay in here. I've yet to hear anything knock them out. You know, and again, what I was saying upstairs about the you know, in the studio about the PAM G2, I could say about these.
Right.
At this point, these amplifiers are for flagship statement amplifiers. Are quite a bargain. They really are. And I mean, we're doing 2 pair. I don't think there's anything in the world that can compete with 2 pair of them. And so we're doing 2 pair, and they're less than what a lot of people are selling 1 pair for.
1 pair,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Or damn close to the same
Yeah.
price. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So there you go. AudioNet Heisenbergs are half price.
There you go.
Again, everything in here with Kabbalah Sosna cables, everything in this room, realization level, as we said, as we go through the different rooms, the cable performance elevates, and we put the best of the best here.
Let me say something about the system, if I may.
Sure.
We, the other day, were talking about life. In other words, the real concert experience, the live music experience, live unamplified music being the reference. We were talking about the differences between live or live music and music reproduction systems,
Yes.
audio. And we sat down and sort of listed, you know, the short list of those things where audio falls short. And, you know, the ability to be transported to a venue is something that's very rare. But we've heard a lot of systems over the years.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
heard some of the very best here for one in one place, but we've heard a lot of stuff. And
Well, we make sure that we get out and we listen with open ears and
absolutely,
open mind. Yeah.
for sure. And this system has taken us closer to eliminating the differences between audio and what I call live or live music. It is getting us so close. When you sit down and listen to the system, it's like you feel like you can walk in the soundstage and touch the bodies of the performers. They literally are standing here, almost as if it's visual.
Yes.
The sense of the venue, just the feeling of being at that live event, life itself, this is as close as I've ever experienced. And it's getting frighteningly close.
Well, and you and I are always experimenting and never resting, always looking for ways to improve things.
Yes.
Today we spent hour and a half, 2 hours going back and forth. What we were doing is we were listening to cables from the router to switch X.
to an Ethernet switch, yeah.
And we were, but it was, do we come off the main router? Do we come off of another switch? Do we come off with an RJ45 jack? Do we come off of a SFP port module? Do we do a SFP copper? Do we do SFP fiber? And we ended up with a DAC cable.
Yeah.
Well, we ended up with a DAC cable, which is a completely passive device, copper inside, and 2 wires right to each processor. We came right off the main router into, and the differences were significant.
And we were comparing that to the analog version
That's right.
on the new perpetual turntable.
Yeah.
Yeah, really something else. It's illuminating what a teeny little cable between switching devices in an Ethernet setting can do.
So we settled on this DAC cable and how the configuration is here. and how things are run on that switch with a dirty and clean network. We elevated the sound in every single room. Except for this room, and so
This was
we didn't. It's a little different, and we're going to figure that out as well. But I'm sure we're going to be able to improve this as well. But that one cable improved, I don't know, 20 systems around here. Yeah, including demo room 4, 3, and 2. Yeah. So that was, that's what we do. We sit and we try to peel that onion back, see how many layers it has. Just when we think we're close to the end, it grows a lot more layers.
Exactly.
But it is getting close. It definitely is. And we could hear things that, like you said, well, and what we were listening to was quad DSD, HDTT, recorded by merging technologies. It was a quad DSD pull. So we were listening to the master tape. We were listening to the master tape, comparing it to a wonderful LP, going back and forth. And wow. Yeah, we got it to the master tape level. Yeah. And it was body, it was weight, it was information. Pixels, I call it. You know, if we were going to look at a difference between a 720p screen and a 4K screen, it was that type of information or pixels that we were able to gain, base definition and clarity. The highs, the air around symbols. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, little sidebar here, but Dick, let's take them to the front end.
Yeah.
And here we are at the front end of the big room. And some of this equipment you've already seen before. And you might be wondering, like, why are they showing 2 of the same things? But as we said at the very beginning, we just don't sell on a retail basis. We also are the distributor. And what we will do is we will put I'm looking at Master Fidelity. You saw Master Fidelity in Demo Room 3. Master Fidelity in Demo Room 3 is purchased as a demo unit to go out to dealers. It's for Dick to get on an airplane with and to go around and to open up dealers with that. So that is being broken in right now. It's that particular unit needs a little bit of an upgrade prior to you going out and being the road warrior. But that's what that is. Why do we have multiple sterns? Well, nothing in the big room ever gets touched. And so we do trade shows. We take a stern to a trade show. There's it also. I would say that the G1 Spirits deserve a stern as much as the Moya M1s. So that's the reason why. So we do multiples at times for different rooms, different sounds. For many years, the Tambaki was here. The MF has beat it. 5 times the price,
right?
But or 4 times the price, but this is the reference. We've got the Orlik Aries G2.2, which is their current flagship. We cannot wait for the Aries G3. So, assuming that's going to be as good as it's expected to be, the G2.2 will be out of here. It'll go into another room. And then, when the big room gets updated, everything gets updated.
Right, exactly.
It's sort of a trickle down. And so all the rooms get improved, which is the name of the game. We're also open to looking at other streamers that are out there. We're always out there searching, wondering if something's better. I mean, there's so much advancement in the streamer world that we'll listen and look for any streamer that's out there. Right now, Orlick just happens to be the best that we've tried in the big room.
Yeah.
Right. But we love the company, we love the people, and we've been with them since they started.
Yeah.
GTT
sure.
was one of their first dealers. We dealt with all the headaches and really the nightmares of launching Lightning DS and that little plastic, the original Aries, the little plastic streamer. So I just covered what's in this first rack here. Dick, why don't you cover the next one?
Willie already talked about the Stern preamp, which of course we use in the very best systems. I believe it's the best sounding solid state preamp that I've ever experienced, and I've heard it on numerous different amplifiers even throughout the AudioNet line, and it's the most transparent thing I've heard. Below that, we have the PAM G2 phono stage, which we use on occasion. We used it exclusively for quite some time.
Yeah.
But in a minute, we'll introduce something that's gone beyond.
But this for solid state.
We were comparing it yesterday, and I was reminded how incredible the PAM G2 is. And here we have the Ampere, which is serving as an upgrade power supply for the PAM G2. The Ampere is a bit of a step up from even the EPX.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when we're selling this thing, if someone's buying a PAM G2 with an EPX, they're going to get the Ampere. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit of money more, and it's a little step up, but it's worth the money for sure. We didn't, EPX owners, we didn't have them swap it out to buy an Ampere. Yeah. It wasn't that massive, but it is enough to where for the little surcharge to get the Ampere it's a newer unit, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's newer than the EPX. It came out a few years ago, and so where EPX has been out for 15 years or whatever. So it's definitely worth it.
Excellent. Below that, we have
you know what? I should say something too.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we discussed that in room actually in room 2. We did.
Okay.
We discuss the Kabbalah Sosna umbilical cable? We did.
We did that connect them. So we don't want to mention these step ups, and there's a few other cables we've incorporated over time into units. But below the Ampere, we have the Kabbalah Sosna expander, which you've seen in virtually every room that you've been in. It's just the finest distribution unit available. We use it everywhere. We use it at all the shows.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It just, what it does is it's a dedicated line multiplier.
Yeah.
Yeah. All realization technology in there as well.
That's right. I'd forgotten about that. Very true. Well, Bill, why don't you introduce the
Louie and I,
most amazing thing.
Yeah, Louie and I were here introducing the Discovery Phono stage, and in front of that last episode, but it bears talking about it again. I mean, that is a Discovery, an entire Discovery rack and everything on it, from this Discovery turntable with the capability of having 2 arms on it. Then we have, which is from here up, and then this is the Discovery supercapacitor power supply, just like the Perpetual that we talked about in Demo Room 2, or the Sparta supercapacitor power supply that we talked about in Demo Room 3. I said 4, Demo Room 2 for the Perpetual. The Studio, that's what we call it. That thing is the best out of all of them. Each one is, a Sparta doesn't go with a Perpetual doesn't go with the Discovery, and you can't mix and match them. They're made specific for each table. So you have, and then at the very bottom, which I don't even know if you can see on camera, but that's that AC to DC converter, and again that comes with the table, and that works with the table. Or if you add the optional Discovery Supercap power supply, that'll work as well. You throw a couple of switches, run cables a couple different ways, and you're good to go. Now, the phono stage, which sits on the two shelves. You've got the main unit, the head unit, all-tube unit, TLA step-up transformers internally, two inputs. Below it, you've got these two mono blocks. They look like they are dual mono. Well, they're monoblock power supplies. Yeah. Tube rectification in there. The head unit is completely dual mono as well. I mean, this thing is, well, so I said two inputs, so it can run both of the Kronos arms, and they would be plugged in with the Binder connector. So you save a set of interconnects there. If you're using another arm, you can choose from RCA. Inputs. And then they have a RCA and a true balanced output.
Yeah.
This thing is, I'm just going to get it out there. I'm just going to get it out there. This is the finest phono stage I've ever heard in my life. The AudioNet phono stage was my previous reference. This is, I still love the AudioNet phono stage. It's the finest solid state unit I've heard, but whether it's tube, whether it's solid state, there is nothing, whether it's conventional cartridges like we're using or a DS cartridge, this takes everything to the next level. It's the finest I've heard.
We were doing some comparisons a few days ago. Doing some adjustments and tweaking, I guess you could say. But we went back and forth to the PAM G2 AudioNet phono stage, which was fantastic.
It was fantastic. You got a new love and appreciation for
absolutely.
how good it is.
How good it really is. It was great to do that comparison. And then here where things have gone from the brilliant minds of at Kronos. It's spectacular what it does. It's big, it's deep, it's rich, it's transparent.
It's so dynamic. It's explosively dynamic.
Exactly.
It is the quietest phono stage I've ever heard.
Yeah.
On paper, the Lupe's the quietest phono stage, and the Lupe's measurements are quieter than the end of your cartridge.
Yeah.
Okay? So you're never going to hear the circuit. You'll never hear circuit gain. You're hearing the end of your cartridge. That's how quiet that phono stage is. Well, I would say this is equally as quiet.
Yeah.
I mean, my ear, and then this is tubes. So this is mind-boggling that a tube could be
that quiet.
And I think all of you know that when things are made right, and you lower the noise floor, when you have this quietness and you lower the noise floor, as long as you don't strip the pixels, you gain in transparency, you gain in resolution, and you gain in musicality.
Yes.
Yeah, because you hear more. And that's what this is. I mean, it just gives you information. I'm hearing records for the first time.
Yeah.
I mean, we've said this with the Discovery, and we've said it with the Discovery RS, and now we have the Discovery phono stage. I think it's aptly named because it is. You rediscover. It could be rediscovery. It's you're discovering everything as if it's the first time.
That was one of the components that, as I talked about earlier, that took us into life.
Yep.
And it just took us that much closer to life, to the sound of live music. That was one of the best revelations, the best thing I've heard since I've been out here.
Another thing is, phono stages at times, certain phono stages have compatibility issues.
Right.
Sometimes, especially with tube and solid state and, just getting things to blend and hums and that type of stuff.
Sure.
With this unit, you will have none of that. It is 100% compatible. There are adjustments, and there are ground lifts and that type of stuff in there that we experimented with, played with, got to see what every little
Yeah.
switch did, paid attention to it. We will expertly set it up for you. You know.
They thought of everything.
Guys that have this system, your system, you know, if you're upgrading to this, it'll come pre-configured for your system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But that is just cool.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no on the job, at the install, head sweating, wondering how am I going to get this hum out, or why does it sound bright, or you know what's going on with this cable, and it's just. There's a lot of adjustments in there. Not that it's tonal shifts or things like that, but there's things in there to make it 100%
really,
compatible.
Yeah, to really sink into your system. And it did that in spades.
Oh, it really did. It really did. And it's wow. It's cool that we're ending the tour with the Discovery.
That's right.
You know, this is again, you will never see GTT in 3D from a camera. There's a lot more to discover and see when you're actually here. This is a little snapshot into our world, and for those that have been here and are watching, this you know gives you an idea of where we're at today as well.
Yeah.
And it's always evolving.
It needs to always be evolving.
We're in a high-tech industry, and things are moving forward. You either move forward or you die.
You move backwards, right?
as Louis says. So,
but we've reached a point where it's just absolutely exquisite. Where it's just we have so much excitement for the products that we have and what we represent. And what else can we say? It's we're just that much closer,
guys. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Take care.